This is Darshana Gauchan with your B2B Cambodia Market update for February 14th, 2025. The Cambodia Securities Exchange Index was up 0.38 points or 0.09% to 409.81. Total trade volume was down with 22,677 shares changing hands at a total value of over 122 million real or over $30,500. On the main board, 5 stocks were up and 2 were down. Leading the market was Pestech Cambodia, up 2.08% or 50 real to 2,450 real per share, followed by Grand Twins International, which was up 1.67% or 100 real to 6,100 real per share. The other 2 stocks up were MJQ Education and the Phnom Penh Water Supply Authority. On the downside, the biggest loser of the day was the Phnom Penh Autonomous Port, down 0.57% or 80 real to 14,060 real per share, followed by the Sihanoukville Autonomous Port, which was down 0.17% or 20 real to 11,820 real per share. Meanwhile, the other 2 remaining stocks on the main board were flat. Over on the growth board, DVD Engineering was up 0.96% or 20 real to 2,100 real per share, while JS Land stayed flat at 3,060 real per share. Akleda Bank today took back its crown as the company with the highest trade volume of the day, with 9,014 shares changing hands at a total value of 65 million real or close to $16,300, about 40% of Friday's total trade volume. DVD Engineering recorded the second highest trade volume of the day with 4,655 shares changing hands at a total value of 9.8 million real or around $2,450, making up 21% of February 14th trade volume. In other market news, DVD Engineering released a disclosure notice reporting an increase in both net profit and operating profits in Q4 2024. Based on their financial statement for the last 3 months of 2024, DVD Engineering accrued a gross profit of $2.7 million, an increase from the roughly $620,000 accrued during the same period in 2023. The Phnom Penh Autonomous Port also reported increases in revenue, operating profit, and net profit for Q4 2024, attributing these to a rise in containers, cargoes, gas fuel, and barge throughput. Additionally, income tax expenses decreased. The company earned over $6 million in the last 3 months of 2024, compared to the over $5 million in gross profit recorded in the same period in 2023. Other companies on the board have also reported fluctuations in revenue. JS Land reported lower revenue in Q4 of 2024 compared to the same period in the year before, while the Sihanoukville Autonomous Port and Pestech Cambodia both reported increases in revenue. Grand Twins International, meanwhile, reported increases in both operating profit and net profit. Moving on to the exchange rate, the Khmer Real to USD strengthened to 4,004 real per US dollar, while the US dollar index was down to 106.91. Looking at global commodities, oil prices rose on Friday, poised to end 3 weeks of decline, buoyed by rising fuel demand and expectations that U.S. plans for global reciprocal tariffs would not come into effect until April, giving more time to avoid a trade war. Brent futures were up 44 cents or 0.6% at $75.46 a barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude gained 37 cents or 0.5% to $71.66. For the week, both contracts were headed for gains of about 1%. Gold prices rose and were on track for a 7th consecutive weekly gain, as worries over a potential global trade war intensified after U.S. President Donald Trump's push for reciprocal tariffs. Spot gold was up 0.3% at $2,936.79 an ounce, taking its weekly advance to 2.7%. Bullion hit a record peak of $2,942.70 on Tuesday. U.S. gold futures were up 0.5% at $2,961.40. On to the U.S. stock futures. S&P 500 futures ticked up marginally early Friday following news that Trump held off on imposing new reciprocal tariffs. As of the time of the Cambodian market's closing, futures linked to the broad market index were up 0.16%, while Dow Jones Industrial Average futures added 41 points. Nasdaq 100 futures edged up 0.1%. This was Darshana Gauchan with your B2B Cambodia Market update for February 14th. Have a great weekend.